Yeah,
Second, no.
but it doesn't stay.
Oh yeah, but it's the second.
Wait. I see something moving there. Something moving there.
If you talk, yeah.
If I
Now
talk,
you get this. See? You get
okay.
an audio. Go out again or not?
No, I just stayed in. Now it should work. Does it work? Can you guys hear me now? Yay! I have sound. Wow. Okay, that was a bit of an effort. Okay. Um. Yeah, I don't know. I tried this afternoon together with Joanna. We did a test and everything was perfect, and I didn't change anything. And I went live tonight, and nothing worked. Um. So thank you for your patience. Um. And yeah, I hope you guys didn't leave that much, and you're all gonna come back if you did. Okay. My name is Gina-Alina Patilea, and I am a theater maker and a performer. And hopefully, if these crazy times are gonna reach an end, I will perform my work She Practicing the Future in September at the Theater de Generator. Sorry, I need a sip of tea. As you can see, I'm all red. Mm, I I was born and raised in Romania, and there I studied since I was a child for like about 9 years. I studied ballet, and then I went to the theater school, where I studied mostly acting um, and performing. Um, and in 2013, I moved to Amsterdam and I did a master in theater studies at the University of Utrecht. Um, and since then, I've been living and working in Amsterdam, and I work mostly as a creative producer and as a performer. And about 2 or 3 years ago, I decided that I need to focus more on making my own work. It was in the beginning, it was really just an impulse. It was like I need to do my own work. And from that impulse, She Practicing the Future was born. And I would like to tell you a bit more about how the idea of the piece came to life. And it was just a series of, well, actually just two events that happened in the same day that made me focus and made me want to do this work. I was working somewhere else outside the field, and I was in a meeting um, at a job, and we were supposed to have an agenda for the meeting, but we ended up with our boss just screaming at us for various reasons. And for a split of a second, I raised my eyes, and then I could see all of my colleagues. We were sitting in a kind of a circle. Everybody was just looking at their feet, and all of my colleagues were women as well. Actually, the only male colleagues that we had both quit at a difference of 2 weeks of each other, and that was just in the first month that I was there. Mm, so then that evening, I got home and I was reading some news articles, and then I stumbled upon this article that was saying that in UK is legal or was legal at that time to ask women to wear high heels at work, even if that job presumes them to be standing on their feet the whole day. Um, and I got that got me really outraged. Um, and I remember that at that moment I was thinking like, why is the work of a woman not enough, but it has to be embellished or made beautiful or fetishized. So these two events that happened at very short distance of each other really gave me the impulse to do this work. And because of this article, I think I focused on the heels. So I started thinking more about this, and I decided to just put myself through it. So I made a decision that I was gonna wear high heels every day, at least 8 hours a day for a month. And so I did. And I documented these things, and I actually wanted to show you some pictures tonight. But in the tryout we had earlier in the day, YouTube blocked us. So I cannot show you the pictures of my very swollen red feet at the end of the day. I guess it meant a tiny bit too much flesh, so I cannot show you that. But what I can tell you is that because of this continuous practice of wearing the heels for a month, 8 hours a day, for 8 to 10 hours straight, the walking in itself became a very powerful gesture for me and for my body. Then I decided to explore this even more. So then I retaught myself on how to walk on heels. I watched, I think, hundreds of tutorials on YouTube on various advice on how to get the best walk on heels, on how to release pain, on how to fix your shoes so that your heels, your toes don't hurt at the end of the day. But by doing this every day, or every single time I was in the studio, it really became a powerful performative gesture that also brought a lot of things to the surface. And it brought, or the walk, it just became like a ritual of practicing on how to get on with the day, and it made me think about all the women in my life, my mom, my grandmother, my aunts, my friends, and I started compiling information and memories that I had about them. How did they wear their bodies while they were working, and very strong for me, the body of my grandmother came, and this vivid memory of her stamping clay. So she had a house made of clay that was not that resistant, so every summer she had to fix it. So she got, like, I don't know, hundreds or like tens of kilos of clay, the dirt that she used to stamp with her feet with a lot of water and wheat straws. And it was a very long process, and we as children were trying to help. But she used to do that every summer, and that work was not fetishized or embellished or tried to be made beautiful. But on the other hand, I remember also growing up, and that we were taught while growing up that we need to aspire for a job where we could wear high heels, because the women who could wear high heels at work were the women that had that meant they had a great job. They were working in a clean environment. They were not working outside, working in the field or on the construction side. It meant that they were either doctors or teachers or accountants. So that was something that we had to aspire to. and these two images became very strong for me, and I decided to stick with them and just work with them. But I think before I tell you a bit more, I would like to show you a tiny bit of a clip. So I hope that.
Suntem copii, dar cum vom fi? Plin de uimire, plin de iubire, cu ochii vom urmări. Știm de pe acum ce ne aștepți la drum nenumărate, flori și palate, să avem noi mâine, aur și pâine. Voi sunteți niște eroi, dar într-o zi și noi, voi în anul 2000, când nu vor mai fi copii, vom face ce am văzut în noi, toate visele frumoase.
Hey, and we're back. That was a small taste of the performance. And I hope that in September you're gonna come to Leiden and see it. Yeah, so I was telling you about the clay and the heels and how these images stuck very strongly with me, and how both of them for me represent in a way the quintessence of being a woman. Still nowadays, growing up in Romania, but still nowadays. And maybe it's also interesting to talk a bit about the music that I use in the performance. It's a song, I think, that was released in '77 in Romania, and it's a song. It's a children's choir, but it's a song about how we as children growing up in communist Romania, we had all the reasons to be happy because our parents would live a very flourishing country for us, where rivers of honey would flow down the mountains, and how they are heroes, but that we will also become a hero because of how well they taught us, which at the moment when I was working on this performance felt quite ironic, because Romania was going through some political turbulence, and still things are not going that great there. And what I also want to say is that most of the choices that I made for this performance were quite instinctive, which I went for. Like, things came to me into my head and I just tried them out, and later on I decided if I'm gonna stick with them or not. But that was kind of the process of the piece. I did things instinctively, and I wanted to experience them on my body, and to really explore and see what knowledge is being brought up from within. So it was really an exploration of the body, while thinking about labor. And yeah, now I realize that I'm talking about um, women that is about women, a piece that is about women's labor on 1st of May, which is the Labor Day. But anyhow, I also wanted to tell you a tiny bit more about what I am busy with at the moment. And well, I'm very intrigued about the beauty tutorials on YouTube and social media. Um, and I've been diving into it the last couple of months, and I'm still very intrigued about it. But I want to look at beautifying, or the process of beautifying, in relation to social media and the fear of dying, and looking at the fear of dying as means of coping with it, and that everything that we do in our life is a mean of coping with our fear of dying. So, sorry, I would like to look at beautifying as a mean of coping with dying. And when I say dying, I'm not referring about the actual act of dying and becoming a dead person, but I guess more aging and um, going towards the end of our life. And for this new work, I would also like, in a way, to have the same process as with Practicing the Future, which is also still based on exploring what different actions do to the body and what type of knowledge the body produces. So nowadays I'm really in the process of experimenting and trying things on my own body, in terms of like, well, I already did purchase a lot of face creams and new types of makeup, and the first thing that I did try was putting on makeup. I did that for quite some time, and it's extremely seductive. You end up spending hours and hours, or at least I ended up spending hours and hours in front of a mirror, which I never really did before. And now I'm more in the process of like skincare and taking care of the body, so working out. And I think the next step would be going into like, yeah, I would like to say extreme dieting, but I don't know if I will do that or if I will be capable of doing that. And working out as well. So that's what I am busy with at the moment. Um, and I hope I will get a chance to tell you more about this new work as well in the near future. And I was also supposed to tell you what I'm doing during the quarantine. What I do during the quarantine, I stay inside as much as I can. If I am being super honest, I'm not feeling extremely creative. I think my body and my brain is in a sort of drifting between working and uncertainty of what it is to come tomorrow, next week, in a month. So I'm trying constantly to find my balance, or my body is constantly trying to find its balance, but I don't think I'm succeeding that much. And for the rest, yeah, just being around the house, sharing time with my boyfriend, which is nice to have him around the house. And yeah, that's kind of about it. And yeah, that's it. I don't really have anything more to say to you right now. I hope to see you guys in September in Leiden at the Teatro de Generator. And then we can chat a bit more person to person, face to face, live. Thank you for joining in, and I hope to see you all soon. Thank you. Bye.